Let's go ahead and get started.
All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see everyone up in the side chat popping in. Christian, if you would, sir, get us started off right. Check popping in. Christian, if you would.
Well, that is if we got rid of the video play in the background.
Sorry about that. I had all right. So welcome everybody. Christian Grest here. So just having a fun time ending up my weekend. Been doing some hunting, a little bit of family time, that sort of stuff. And just happy to be hanging out with y'all this evening.
It's like the man has never seen the show. Yes, Kristen, if you would, sir, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sorry, I had my other audio feed going on, and it was kind of garbling what you were saying. So that's my bad.
You're good, Alan. What's going on,
Rookie
man?
mistake.
Oh man, I had the mass majority of this week off, and by that I mean I took 3 days off. So it was an absolutely good week for me, other than I still didn't get all the footage that I want to get for a particular video, but nevertheless, it was a great week, great holiday week, and just more food than anybody should ever eat in their God-given lives. Currently out there in the side chat, we've got the Edward Petty, Keith Gregory, Kyle, MCK, reloading from the hot pot, SD Mountain Man, the Tactical Fud, Vanessa Kitty. Yeah, I know a couple of you got links out there. Come on in if you got that link. But yeah, it's been a great week for me. Absolutely great week.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Jamie, what's going on, man?
Oh man, worked on the truck all weekend, really. Back brakes on a 77 Chevy C10. So you start working on an old truck, you're going to run into a whole lot more trouble than you planned on. It's going to cost more money than you thought, and it's going to take a lot longer to do. But got the 308 test rounds loaded up. Anxious to get to the range with my buddy and test those out. Got a few more videos we're going to do on that series. So be looking for some videos to post up this coming week, Lord willing.
I had a package show up at my doorstep, and I'm really kind of curious if anybody would like to own up to sending me half an ass, because I got a really nice chunk of ham delivered to my doorstep. I'm like, where the hell did this come from? That was very well accepted and already half digested.
I can honestly say I know nothing.
Somebody out there sent me a damn ham, which is great. Like I said, phenomenal, already half digested.
Okay, expand on this. Is half of the ham already digested, or is the whole ham half digested?
Well, that depends upon your perspective. but the half of the ham has been digested. I think I'm working on another about a 16th of it currently. But it was absolutely phenomenal. No idea who sent that to me, but thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I hope everybody had as good of a Thanksgiving as I did. I actually attended my girlfriend's Christmas party last night, and it was rather interesting simply because they had a hypnotist, and all the group of people that she works with all decided by going like this that they were not the ones at the table that were going to go, and she wasn't paying attention. And so she had to get up on stage up with this group to be hypnotized. Absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. It was a good show. You know, for a corporate Christmas party, it was entertaining.
You know, I'm sure that was good, but it ain't as good as leftover ham and cheese sandwiches.
It sounds like he's got quite a bit of ham left over. It'll be interesting to know if you ever find out who sent that to you.
Yeah, there was no indicator in the package at all. So, you know, I got to thank everybody out here, I guess.
Well, I can honestly tell you, no one asked me for your address, so I don't know who sent it.
Well, that narrows it down to 45 or 50 people.
I was gonna say it's about 50 or so.
I think everybody needs a random ham sent to their house on occasion.
Now, I've done it with pizzas, but a whole ham. Come on, that's upper class right there, buddy.
Yeah, Christian, I think we need to define random. I mean, I remember the canned Hormel hams from when I was a kid. Don't do that, yeah.
So, Christian, it's been a minute since we've had you on, man. How's things going on with you?
Oh, just busy. Gosh darn. It was kind of nice to wind down a little bit over the weekend, but I was still busier than what I had planned on being. Got back from a hunting trip last weekend, so I had meat processing to do, and that took most of the weekend unpack. Actually, I'm still not all the way unpacked. Had to work last week more than what I had planned on. Normally the holiday week with my job, we kind of lay low a little bit during the week because I'm not teaching classes normally on a holiday week, but I had stuff I had to fix at work. So I had to go in every day, and then tried to do a little bit of hunting on, Friday morning. Didn't see nothing, but yeah, and luckily we didn't go out of town or anything for Thanksgiving like we normally do. We kind of hunkered down here. Actually, a coworker and his family invited us over, so that was pretty cool. We got to just cook a couple dishes and show up and, had some good food. Actually, it was probably the best turkey I'd ever had. I don't know how exactly he did it, but he spatchcocked it and did some injectable stuff and some sort of dry brine on it. And it was pretty dang awesome. But that about wraps it up for me. I mean, had a great hunting trip, so that was pretty exciting. But getting ready to get back to the normal swing of things come tomorrow, unfortunately.
Ain't that the worst part of the holidays? That Monday after, and you have to go back to work and
Absolutely.
back up at 5:30, get the kid on the bus and all that.
No, we actually had our first snow of the season start yesterday and continue most of the way through the evening here. And so I was glad to not have that during the week last week. Because honestly, the reason why I even took any time off was because of the holidays for work. I only had to take a few days off to get the mass majority of the week off. And I had to do some mass renovating in furniture and so forth in my apartment. And Scotsman can attest that my stairway is like climbing Mount Everest. So moving recliners and couches up and down these things is not something that you want to do on a regular basis.
Yeah, I can tell you, I've never had to do that with them, but I can tell you right now, I would not want to. It is pretty steep, folks. Pretty steep.
Yeah, speaking of moving stuff, we got some flooring getting done later on this week, and one of the areas of the house we're getting some flooring done is a walk-in closet where is kind of it's part closet, part gun accessory ammunition storage room. So I spent most of the afternoon today actually moving that stuff out. So I got ammo cans all piled all over the house and stuff. But it's due to get some floor. We got this house. We've had it, since 2015, I guess, and it was all carpeted. So we've been going through and replacing the carpet and stuff with hard floors, room at a time. So after this round, we'll have 2 rooms left to get flooring replaced.
Well, I just made the assumption that you were trying to get the wife to be frisky with you. Because at this point in the relationship, it's like to turn her on, you have to be like, hey, baby, you want some new floors?
No comment to that, huh?
Hey, whatever works.
Man's got to do what a man's got to do, I tell you.
Absolutely.
All right, so before we get too deep into it, we want to thank our friends over at Rab Lab 3D. And if you guys haven't seen this yet, we did show it one night here. I believe it was on Jamie's chat or on Chris's chat. I forget which one, but we have our own challenge coin made up for, that's right, folks, Battle of the Beards. So we have our own challenge coin. So we do have a new challenge coming up here pretty soon, and we'll get a date set and we'll let you know when that is. But thanks to them, we have a new challenge coin. So very cool.
That is an absolutely phenomenal coin. I I know I would never win one. Clearly. The Battle of the Beards has been a very it was kind of a spur of the moment idea, and it kind of really took off. And man, the competitors that have gotten into this have had some nice man mares. And now the coin is that I was ecstatic to see the thing.
Like you're saying, man, this thing kind of blew up more than we thought it was going to, and I figured it would be cool to have something for the winners as we progress and do this more. And coming up, we're going to do this slightly differently than normal. So myself and Allen will be exempt from judging. So we're going to have X amount of people with us, and depending on whether I can either spend the money and have the extra people all here with us, or we have them sitting down below and then we just rotate through. We'll do it one way or another. but I plan on having a lot of people, and we can rotate them through and bring them up and get their opinions, get their, Allen will still be going through and doing the categories and that, but myself and Allen are exempt from saying anything as far as what we think is the winner of each category and so on and so forth. So we're going to do it that way. And the next one we have coming up is going to be not just 2 people, but potentially 3 or even potentially 4 all at one go. So we got a pretty epic Battle of the Beards coming up. So we just got to get email put together and get a date set for everyone that they can make it. So look forward to that coming up pretty soon.
That's pretty awesome, man. Very nice coin too.
Yeah, Rad Labs turns out some great stuff, some absolutely phenomenal stuff. You can see one of the articles right back here. Just yeah, I couldn't be happier with the stuff they turn out.
I literally sent him a message and said, "Hey man, this is what I'm looking for. This is kind of what I want. This is what we're doing." And within 6-7 hours, he sent me a couple of different designs. And one of the first ones for the front of the coin was this one. And then the third design was the back one. So I'm like, yep.
Is there a particular reason why you chose the back of the coin? Was it like looking in a mirror? Or...
It was, yeah. That's why I picked it. Yeah. Precisely that, man. No, he did a phenomenal job, and out of all the ones that he picked, he designed this thing just pop, man. And yeah, couldn't be happier with it. Did an awesome job.
So we're not ready to reveal the contestants as we speak?
Not yet, no, because I don't know if it's going to be 3 or if it's going to be 4 yet. So,
still a work in progress. Still a work in progress.
I know we have 3 confirmed, but I'm waiting to see if number 4 wants to do it also, and then we'll get a date set because number 3 was having some medical things going on. And they are now good to go. So I got the confirmation from them. So I'm just waiting on number 4. And we'll see whether it'll be a 3 or a 4.
Definitely some good looking beards out there.
I might can help you, Scotsman. I think I've got the version of StreamYard that can have 10 participants, and I can set the destination. So maybe we can work. We'll try it between now and then. Do a test run and see what happens.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be awesome. Walter Davis, yes, we're gonna have another beard off, man. New beard challenge coming up.
And if it was a grow a beard contest, man, I would love to be all over that. That would just please me to no nth if I could have my beard back. It actually is one of my major regrets in life itself that I just can't.
All right, so here in a little bit, we'll probably do about halfway through the show. Everyone who helped out with Lakeview, and I got everyone right here on a piece of paper. Everyone that helped out with Lakeview, we have some stuff to give away. I got a couple books from Milcert Mike, and someone else sent a couple of different things here. So about halfway through, we will get to that, and I'm going to have someone help us out and order to draw those out. But we have 27 people in total because I took myself out and the donators I took out as far as the books and the other items. So, but everyone else is in there.
Dang, Fuzz, that's almost ill-mannered, sir.
Fuzzy be ill-mannered?
I suspect he has problem growing a beard. Watch. He's really got one past his waist, probably.
No, Fuzz has been casting so long, he doesn't have any facial hair, man.
No. His beard starts at the belt line. Well, as busy as I was this past week, I at least got some meditation time in front of the big blue machines. Just standard stuff. I have kind of been toying around on making my hush rounds, but I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to go about doing that. I did get 147 grain projectiles in order to start doing some hush rounds. Bigger bullet, lesser charge. Haven't decided where I want to land yet for some 9mm hush rounds. But I did get some meditation in behind the big blue machines this week. So that was pleasant enough.
Now, are you doing hollow points, or are you doing just regular round ball, or what are you doing?
Well, for the hush rounds right now, it's just full metal jackets. I would actually like to develop some self-defense style rounds, but again, that's something that I may not ever even carry. I certainly am not going to walk around with a suppressor halfway down my pants either. But for the purpose of why I have this suppressor coming in, I'd like to have some self-defense rounds. I'm not worried about over penetration where I live. I'm surrounded by brick and I basically have no neighbors. So I'm not that worried about over penetration. It's just I would much rather have more of a possibility of something sticking where I put it than continuing on to somewhere where I don't necessarily want it.
So you don't have a shoulder rig for that thing, man, where you can just go,
I don't know, be looking like something out of Roger Rabbit. Just yeah, that's pretty close. Yeah, I was gonna dial back. I was gonna dial back the tight group, and run the 147s. And then I'm gonna set up a number of those, and then break out the chrono and see what's happening. I just got one of those Codwell chronos. I don't have one of the good gray ones, but it works. And I haven't shot it yet, so that helps.
Don't worry, it's coming.
I've had a heck of a time on my Caldwell chrono. The switch on it is kind of finicky. half the time I can't get the thing to turn on. I've been wanting to buy another one. I just haven't yet, but it's on my list.
Yeah, mine, the Caldwell's down at Daniels, and I've had that thing for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years maybe. And it was about 2 or 3 years back, I started having issues with it, where literally everything was reading the same amount. So I was getting some pretty high numbers with it around that I knew shouldn't be anywhere close to what was coming out of that chrono. And then Allen was nice enough to hook me up with one of those nice gray ones, and I got that sitting over back here, and I just haven't had a chance to get it out to shoot with it yet. But that thing should run pretty good. That's Bluetooth, so that should help a lot too. I don't have to worry about cables or cords or anything like that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at picking up as well. A lot of people have had good luck with those.
Yeah, I've never actually owned one myself, but I haven't heard anybody really talk any garbage about them.
I think Lab Radar and that new Garmin are interesting concepts. But man, that's a gun. I mean, you're looking at $500-600, and
Yeah, the Lab Radar, I know Brownells just had those for sub 500. They had a deal going on those, but gosh darn, that's just a crap ton of money, in my opinion.
me too, man. And I think
Yeah, and if you look at the new Garmin, if you go on like eBay or that, they're 900 plus, because people are just taking advantage of the fact that they're not available yet. And if they got them, they're just hiking them up.
What's the retail in the Garmin? I heard about it, but I hadn't seen them for sale anywhere.
$6, I think.
Okay, that's still ridiculous.
It is, but that's where Lab Radar was forever until Garmin come out. Now all of a sudden they're $150 cheaper.
Yeah.
So capitalism at its finest, folks.
Yeah, I just wonder what those do over, I mean, for me, I mean, I reload. I'm not always chrono and stuff, not all the time. So, I just need it to work when I need to use it. Kind of like my Caldwell one. I've had it probably had my Caldwell one for at least 5 or 6 years, and don't use it all the time. But man, I've had more often than not, I've had issues with it.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus with the Lab Radar. But I don't know. I normally set it up where with my Caldwell, I ain't shot it yet. Maybe I should shoot it. That way I can just buy another one.
I shot mine. The dang thing still works.
Oh, that's unlucky right there.
I know. Yeah, the Caldwells and it's an affordable entry level kind of thing. The next step up would be the Pro Chronos, which I think is what Scotsman has. The Lab Radar seems to be coming down in price a little bit, and I think that's awesome. And then the selling point to me for the Garmins is they're only about
they're
6
small.
inches square.
Yeah.
But Hasbro has a Lab Radar. He loves his, swears by it. For that kind of money, it better work good from now on,
Nice.
Well, there's that. But if you go by your reloading book and it tells you how fast bullets should be traveling is the key. You have no concept of extreme spread or standard deviation. And if you're going to shoot long distance, it would be nice to know those kind of things.
Yeah, especially if you're casting. If you're casting, you have to know a lot more of what's going on, because weight variation and everything is so much. So,
I mean, my recent use with my chrono was messing around with 44 mag. I'd never loaded it before, and I was wanting to do some comparisons with some factory loads. So I was able to chrono that stuff, factory loads out of my rifle, and then what I had reloaded, and it gave me some good comparisons. It's definitely a nice tool to have in the toolbox when it works and it's not aggravating the piss out of me. But that's another that's another story. But definitely good to have, no doubt.
Well, I recently heard a kind of a larger gun channel recently did a video on 10 millimeter. And one of the things that they said repeatedly was that they don't load 10 millimeter to actually be like to spec. They underload at factory. And I'm like, what? Really? So I'm very curious because now I want to go out and test factory loads compared to my loads and see how much of a difference there actually is.
Well, I'm not a big 10 millimeter guy. I got one 1911 and 10 millimeter that rarely gets shot, to be honest with you. But my understanding is that a lot of your factory loads are under spec compared to what they should be. That's my understanding.
Yeah, especially calibers that are, I don't know, on the larger side for handguns, I would suspect. Yeah, everywhere from like 357 and up.
Yeah, Buffalo Bore would probably be a good example. Buffalo Bore is supposed to be some of the hottest rounds out there as far as factory ammo. And I've taken some Buffalo Bore and I've taken some reloads and put them side by side, and you will see a huge difference between the Buffalo Bore and the reload is so much hotter. And that's just a middle of the road reload, and it's way hotter than the factory.
Well, what's the point of 10 millimeter then? You're not going to load it up.
No. The point of 10 millimeter is it's more than 9.
So is 40. And if you got underpowered 10 millimeter, that's what you've got. 40 Smith & Wesson.
Yep. 40 slow and weak.
I wouldn't go that far. Still better than 9 millimeter.
So what press you been running that on, Alan?
All the 10 that I do is done on the Square Deal B. That it originally got changed over to one thing, then it got changed over to another. Now that thing is almost my dedicated 10 millimeter machine. And I would like to be able to change over my 750 to do some other things, but just I'm not really happy with Big Blue and their lack of dies. Because I'd like to stick with all Dillon in those particular machines. Not that there's not better dies out there or whatnot. I'd just like to stick with all Dillon in it, but can't seem to get dies out of them for anything.
We're going on probably close to 4 years now where a lot of their stuff has been on back order, and it's just insane. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, I don't look at their emails. I don't look at their ads, anything else. They, you get the same emails as I do where free shipping on this much or that much. I don't even look at the email. I just flat delete it. Because so rarely, I'm going on the site for something And it's like, up, back ordered. Like, seriously contemplating picking up a different machine that just has more parts and pieces out there.
Yeah, I have a Dillon 550. I don't run Dillon dies on any of my stuff. I run Lee, and I got one set of Hornady dies and one set of RCBS dies. But other than that, it's all Lee dies. I mean, but I also started on Lee press, and I had a bunch of dies from that press, so I just switched them all over. I mean, Lee dies aren't the best, I guess, but they've done good by me, and I can find them when I need them. So, and they're pretty good customer service too. I think I broke a couple of decapping pins over the year, and they sent me new ones, so it wasn't a problem. Been a few years since I did that, but it has happened.
Yeah, 90% of the dies I got are all Lee dies, other than on the Dillons. But it's, Dillon is just, again, it's going on close to probably 4 years or so, and it's just been back order, and it's insane. At one point in time, I was looking at converting it over to 223 556, and I mean, it's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. Now, the Willie press, Willie Bultman press that I got a conversion kit for 223, but I got to go through and sort all the parts and pieces out. Because like I've discovered this past weekend, trying to figure out why I couldn't get everything to run right was because when the press was sent, everything was just kind of tossed in the box. And so everything was just kind of mismatched and all over the place. And I finally got all the parts I needed to load 45. So 45 is now set up and ready to rock and roll on that press. But I got to figure out what the other parts and pieces are for 223 because Dillon does not label their stuff.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I've contemplated going to Redding Dies. Those I know I can get a hold of. So, wow. That's interesting.
Well, at least they would recommend something other than their own product since their own product isn't available. So, I mean, that's I guess a positive.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
am
it
I
could be
the
worse.
only-
They could tell you just to order it and wait.
I guess I'm the only one on the panel that does not have a Dillon. So wow.
I got a Lee plastic turret and a Dillon. So, but I've had them both for a heck of a long time. I don't even know what they run anymore for price wise. But the one thing that irks me about Dillon is they are proud of their caliber conversion kits. Those things, I just don't understand why they charge so much for what they are. But just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, it's insane some of the prices they have on some of their stuff. It's you look at a Lee die for what it is, and then you look at a Dillon die for what it is, and it's supposed to be side by side, and the price is just twice as much, 3 times as much, depending on what you're looking at. Don't get me wrong, they're good dies. They run well and they work well, but end of the day, if you can still do it with a Lee die or you can do it with something else like a Radin or whatever, then and the Radins are up there too. But a lot of the Radin stuff is all very precision, has all the extra bells and whistles on it.
Yeah, I imagine if you're trying to load for precision long range shooting, having the nicer dies with the micrometers and all that stuff is probably worth the extra money. But for me, nope. I'll stick with my Lee dies. What are you running, Jamie? What are you running? You said you don't run a Dillon. What do you run for a press?
I have a Redding T7 and 2 RCBS rock chuckers
Okay.
and a Lee Classic turret press
Oh,
and
nice.
3 different shotgun presses.
Yeah, I don't do any shot. I don't shoot enough shotgun to do it, but maybe someday.
Yeah, it's new for me. I've not done it enough to know what I'm doing good yet. I'm still sticking to the recipes and the ballistic products advantage manual is the one I use, and the lineman. I have the lineman as well.
Yeah.
But as far as dies, I don't have any Redding dies, but I'm thinking about getting some of those S dies for the long range stuff. But I'm really liking those Hornady dies, and I have the micrometer adjustment for a bullet seeder for my 6.5 Creedmoor dies, but that's like $30. You buy the dies, you buy that, screws on, but still, you add that and you're in $100 for a set of dies. But when you look at Redding dies, you're looking at more than double that. And your Lee dies are $50 at most, and they work good, especially for handgun stuff. It's hard to beat them, particularly for the price. But I have a lot of RCBS dies. I really like those RCBS dies.
Yeah, the only RCBS dies I got, they're actually given to me, is for 300 blackout. So I've been using RCBS for 300 blackout, and they work really good. No complaints. And I got one set of Hornady dies for 223, and they work good. And my Lee dies work good. So I haven't really tried any of that highfalutin dies. Maybe at some point I will, but not yet.
So those Bama Dad are RCBS's upper line, like the Max Master or whatever they call them. But they're up there at premium, uh, like the Redding stuff. They're priced about equal with the Redding. One that if you like that and you want to investigate that, I have that Frankfurt Arsenal Universal seating die, and it's got the micrometer adjustment and the slot you drop the bullet in. That's pretty nice. It's working good for me. It's pretty consistent.
I do have the Frankfurt Arsenal Universal Bullet Seeder, which has a micrometer and has various different things for the die itself, so you can go by caliber.
Yeah.
I'm still to use that. I haven't got to using it yet, but I've had that for a while because I got it on a deal, I don't know, a year or two ago. Specifically, mainly the used with rifle stuff, but I haven't really got into the rifle stuff a whole lot yet. But that's also an option. That's a good deal if you can find it on sale.
It's decent. It's decent price as well. Walter says he likes his RCBS cowboy dies for cast revolver rounds. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Frankfurt Arsenal's somewhat looked over sometimes because for whatever reason, I'm not sure. But honestly, they make some good stuff. Yeah, they've had hit and miss with some of the presses and stuff they put out there, but a lot of the actual equipment and all that they make is pretty good stuff.
And Mr. Pollard's about right. That Frankfurt Arsenal kit is about half the price of what one caliber die is going to cost you from RCBS or Redding. I'm really interested in trying those Redding S bushing dies.
All right. So, Alan, you want to go through the side chat there and see who we got going on? And while you're doing that, Jamie, are you able to do me a huge favor, brother, and pull up a random number generator that we can share on screen?
Well, it certainly sounds like the Scotsman is getting ready to give something away. Chessboard out there, Fuzz Fork 8, James Pollard, got Ozzy Osbourne, the Tactical Fud, Tread, Viejo, and Walter Davis listed as participants. Oh, and the YouTube auditor. There you are. Eat a bowl of dicks. Bama Dad also out there. Good to see Bama Dad. Not so much the YouTube auditor, but yeah, right as of the Gizzard Gary just jumping in the room.
I like how Gary shows up
happy
right.
birthday to you, Gizzard. Reloading from the hot pot, still out there. Fluffy, the 10mm Jeep guy. Hey. Oh, and Mrs. Hot Shot. Ooh, hey, baby, how you doing? Hobbies, hobos. Oh yeah, start calling out people's names. Everybody starts posting. Jesse O and yeah.
All right. So while Jamie's working on that, Christian, you got any new videos coming out this week or anything, man? You're looking at doing?
Well, I got a handful of videos that I'm kind of working on. So I got kind of a hunting season recap video. I always try to do something like that at the end, just kind of, showcase my, success or failures of my hunting season. So I went up to, I live in North Carolina, but I took a week off and went up to Kentucky to hunt on some private land. So actually had a pretty good year this year. After last year's buck that I took, I couldn't believe that I had an opportunity to take one even bigger than him this year. So that was kind of exciting. With the 44 Magnum that I've been working on this year, that lever gun. So that was also kind of icing on the cake. So I'll have that coming out on Friday afternoon this past week, the day after Thanksgiving. So I work for an international company and I work at a training center, and we happen to have a colleague from Germany come over, and he's like, "Oh, I'd like to go shooting." And I always try to take the opportunity if somebody's coming to visit us here from somewhere else, if they're interested in partaking in some freedom, I will, try to, if I have the time, I'll try to take them, to a private range and bring some stuff for them to shoot. So that's what I did. Friday, the latter half of the day, I took this guy out and we shot everything. He had never shot anything before. He said he has a signal pistol, which you actually have to have some sort of a permit for, that's unbelievable to me. But again, Germany. He shot handguns. He shot 22 AR suppressed, M1 Garand, 6.5 Creedmoor, AR-10, M16A4, a couple, 9mm, PCCs, and he had an absolute ball. So anyways, I kind of put together a video on that. I got it uploaded, but I'm waiting on the manual review process to finish before I can post that. But that's basically the thing I've been working on. I got some upcoming stuff on that Ruger S-FAR I've been dinking around with. I did shoot that also on Friday afternoon. I got high hopes for that thing, but I'm not going to hold my breath. So far it's been, I don't know. It's like, again, I'm still trying to work out some kinks with it. And I also got in the, I picked up the Arkin LPVO that they just came out with, the EP8. I got it for sub $300. And it's pretty impressive. So I'm a big fan of LPVOs, and this is a 1-8 and with Japanese glass. I was like, man, I got to try that thing out, and got it in, and it's pretty dang impressive. So we'll see once I get some more seat time behind it. But yeah, so that's kind of what I got working on right now. Should be coming out here in the next few weeks, some of these videos.
Awesome.
What's
man.
your number? How many numbers you got, Scotsman?
1 through 27.
Am I on that list?
You are, yes, sir.
Whatever that number is, exclude that.
Well, I tell you what. Do you want that number to go to Lakeview instead?
Just
Okay.
dandy. I'm good with that.
All right, we'll do that then. All right, so let's let me know when you're ready, Jamie, and we'll get that pulled up here.
1 through 27.
Yes, sir.
All right, let me yeah, it's working.
All right, cool.
I
That's
like
working.
it.
All right, good deal. That's working. All right, so if everyone is ready out there, go ahead and spin that wheel, man.
Number
All right.
18.
So we have number 18. Number 18. Let's see if I can get this to work here. Show up properly. Number 18 is Steve Woodworking. So Steve, Woodworking. Guess what you have won, my friend? We have these awesome mugs that was sent to us by GGW, and we have Lakeview Outdoors on the one side and Guns Save Lives on the other. So you,
Yeah,
sir, are
right.
the first winner of one of these. Congratulations, man. I will get with you. I don't know if you're out there. I haven't seen you out there, but I have your info, so I'll get with you and we'll get that out to you. All right. Go ahead and spin again, Jamie. We'll do one more, and then we'll do 2 more later.
Ooh. That one was right on the line.
Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
All right, number 9, I'll have to get with Bald and Curious. It's one of his donors, but that is David Spear. So, David Spear, you are the winner of the Glass Factory book from Milcirk Mike.
Pretty
So we'll
cool.
get that up. And we'll have a couple more here later. I have one more book to give away and one more mug to give away. So we'll get with that here in a little bit.
So I'm liking the wheel, man. That's pretty cool. Just Google stuff. It's amazing, y'all. I know simple minds are easily amused.
Well, and if you noticed, we didn't get any hashtagged rigs in the comments. I mean,
Oh, it's coming. Just give them a minute.
You had to say something.
Yeah, done jinxed us now.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know the one gentleman, so I'll have to get with Val, and that was one of the donors on his end. So we'll get with Val and get that stuff taken care of on that side.
Thank you, Fluffy. I was missing that. I was really kind of wondering everybody out there was sleeping or not. Yeah, Fluffy's out there talking about his Jeep and all these other things, and
See,
I can
my thing
guarantee
is,
you,
how
you
can
ain't
you
got a
like
camel dent in yours.
how can you like 10 millimeter and like Jeeps? Because Jeeps are, on the other side of the whole spectrum, and then you like 10 millimeter, which is a whole nother ball game. How can you like both? That's just really weird.
Are you calling me weird? I mean, you're calling me weird too. I mean, I like Jeeps. I like 10 millimeter. The hell?
Wait, are you saying you're secretly Fluffy 10 millimeter Jeep guy?
Oh, there's no secret about me being fluffy. I mean, I have proven once and for all that I have beaten anorexia.
Yeah, I'm not really a Jeep fan. My sister and her husband got one, and I feel like I'm riding around in a cardboard box when I'm in those things. I mean, they're just uncomfortable. They beat the crap out of you. And what they charge for those things, golly, they're so expensive for what they are. But I mean, I understand the nostalgia about it. And we got some trails here in North Carolina that are well suited for a Jeep size vehicle. Not those Gladiator fake Jeeps that they have now, but yeah.
Yeah, old
The
school Jeeps
Gladiators have a little
absolutely
bit of
all
a
day
funky
long.
look to them. I understand the purpose, but you don't see guys turning those that much into trail rigs. You actually see guys taking the old school XJs and turning those into trail rigs more than you do the new Gladiators. But at the price, I don't quite blame them. I mean, a lot of the stuff is just ridiculous, and Jeep makes a great trail rig, after you upgrade the suspension and the axles and the transmission and the
Absolutely. Actually, the older one, I can't believe what they want for used Jeeps. I've seen some used Jeeps. Like, man, there's no way that they are wanting what they want for them. But man, they just for some reason, Jeep Wrangler, even 20 years old, they still want stupid. In my opinion, at least stupid. Maybe I'm just cheap or something, but they just seem to want more money than what I'm willing to pay for one. If I were somebody in the market for a Jeep, of course.
Well, yeah, and Wranglers especially, for some oddball reason, they hold their value like it's going out of style, and it's one of those few vehicles that it can be heavily modified, and people will snatch it up in a heartbeat. A lot of vehicles, they don't want to take somebody else's project on, but when it comes to any kind of Wrangler, people will go, okay, I know that part, not a problem.
Yeah, because I think because they're it's actually you're saving a good bit of money by getting one that's already been upgraded where it counts, as long as it's done right. Here, in North Carolina, we'll see these, especially out towards the coast, we'll see these Jeeps that got these big 20-something inch wheels with the rubber band tires on them. And they're kind of pointless, with that sort of setup on there. But I wouldn't buy one of those. But like if it's done right, for off-roading and trail riding and stuff, it's a savings if you get one that's already, been upgraded, not beat the crap. But still too overpriced in my book.
They are. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about them. They're phenomenal vehicles. I've never been a major Wrangler fan. I've had plenty of buddies that have built these things from the ground up and just done ridiculous things in them. And I've done the same thing, but with Cherokees. So the for like a stock Rubicon Gladiator, if I was a big avid hunter, I could totally see the purpose in this. Because I'm not gonna want to put a deer in the back of my Cherokee. I want to put it in the bed. But it's not like the old days where you just strap it across the hood of your Monte Carlo.
Yeah, some of the old school Jeeps are really good, but a lot of the newer ones have a lot of issues, just like the new Ford Bronco. They have a lot of problems, and it's just a constant recall here, recall there, and all the rest of it. And it's just shelling money out like crazy.
Well, that's what Jeep stands for, is just empty every pocket.
Yeah, I agree. The Broncos are overpriced too for what they are. The best deal they had was the basic one that you could get brand new for right about 30 grand. I think even those are astronomically priced now. They every dealer that has a Bronco, they have such a markup even now. Actually, the dealer, my wife's car's in the shop for transmission issues, and they got a used Bronco out there. I think it's a 22 model or 23. It might be a 23 model, but it don't have a lot of miles. I think it's got 9,000 something miles on it. And they want $10,000 over sticker for it. It doesn't make any sense, and she don't like them anyways. She don't like the Bronco.
Yeah, it's crazy. You see that more and more, that used cars are even pricier than new cars sometimes. I don't know what's going on there. Insane.
The pricing
Yeah.
of trucks is what's scary. I mean, a new Ford F-150 is what, $85,000.
Oh, easy. And that's with the rubber mat, straight up work truck, no bells, whistles, anything like that. And Walter, I got to tell you, if you never got stuck, you weren't trying hard enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the F-150s. They're for a XLT. They're in the 50. They're starting the 50s for an XLT model. They get pretty pricey, pretty dang fast. But every vehicle is, gosh darn, I can't believe how much they've went up just in 2 to 3 years. Like my truck that I have, it's a 21 model, and to buy the same truck now is 10 grand plus more than what I paid for mine. So I reckon I'm gonna be keeping it for a long time at this point.
Yeah, and it's astronomical what they want for trucks right now. I go down the road, and we've got a Ford dealership and a Chevy dealership and a Dodge dealership, and I mean, nothing really all that special. Start off at a $68,000 truck, but they've got all these add-ons onto them to where the mass majority of the lot, these trucks are over 100 grand. Like all over all of these lots, they've got these trucks that are 120, 140, 150 grand. I bought my first house for less.
Yeah, as far as I saw a comment there about the dealers, kind of sitting on stuff, not being able to sell. That's definitely a fact. There have been some price incentives and stuff like that coming down on vehicles because the dealers, because of the pricing by the manufacturer, and then just the economy and interest rate stuff like that being higher, people ain't buying vehicles like they were. I mean, I'm in a great interest rate. There's no way I'm gonna trade in either one of our vehicles. Although my wife's car, depending on what happens with it, I may. Yeah, they're telling us 2+ months just to look at the transmission. So on her car. So we got a loaner car. I guess they're just going to give us a loaner car until they get around to fixing it, or looking at it, whatnot. But at some point I may have to make a decision on that. But anyways, if you're in the market for a vehicle, I'll tell you, the end of next month, being the end of the year, there will be some price cutting, I can guarantee you, because these dealers got stuff sitting all over the place.
And Chessboard's out there and mentioned the new Toyota's coming out. They got it going. Starting price is $20,000, which I've seen some things on that, and that's, you can't go wrong with Toyota, man. Toyota will just run forever. They're a great truck.
Yeah, I agree. Toyota's good. Definitely good. Makes a good truck. Not crazy about their cars, but they are pretty dang reliable.
Well, yeah, but the question that I have, and I know nothing at all about it, but with the Hyundai pickup truck and the newest Ford little thingamajigger, they're all based on car platforms.
Yep.
And so what are they going to do? Are they going to put this thing on a Corolla platform?
Yeah, so I don't know about the Toyota one, but like the Ford Maverick, I think it's the one you're talking about. That's basically shares the platform with the Ford Bronco. So it's not much. It's a half truck. It's not really a truck. I don't know about the Toyota one though. I mean, hopefully it's got some truck lineage. But speaking of small trucks, even the Ford Rangers go for, I mean, those things start in the 40s, and they can be almost $60,000 now. It's freaking ridiculous for a Ford Ranger.
From what I've seen, and a few people have asked me and texted me about it here over the last couple of weeks, was it's basically a Toyota Tacoma frame, and then the body and all that, and the internals are a little bit different, but basically a Tacoma frame.
Yeah, if that's the case, that'll be. I mean, they will sell the crap out of them, and if they are going to start at $20,000, make no mistake about it, the dealers will be marking that up as well.
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
Yeah, but look forward to paying extra if you want a standard transmission.
If you can even find one.
Yeah, a lot of manufacturers are not even putting manual transmissions in anything.
Yeah, if you want a manual, you're spending another $5,000 to $10,000 easy just for the manual.
It is a good theft deterrent, though.
It used
It's
to
an
be the other
excellent
way
theft
around.
deterrent. About 90% of America doesn't know how to drive one, so.
Tactical FUD, when they do come out with that vehicle, I might be interested. It has that fresh camel scent.
Now, I'm sure some of the folks out there are wondering, have you been back to visit the camel lately?
I missed him over the holidays. I thought about him, and I missed him over the holidays, but I think it was just because my sight was off. That's the excuse that I'm going to use.
$485,000 miles and still going.
Yeah, and every 6 years when you take the oil out of that motor, just put it in the rear end. It's fine.
No, it's not.
There's an
Are you
excellent
calling
comment.
that fake news?
But it used to not cost you more money for a manual transmission.
They used to be a lot cheaper than here in the last 10 years. They just went skyrocketing because for whatever reason. And they're few and far between. Anytime you go to a dealer, you're lucky if there's one or two on the lot. If they have any, if they don't have to special order it for you.
There's New York Outcast.
Talking cheap, and then there goes New York Outcast showing up.
See, man, that's what I like about my old truck. There's not a computer in it. The spark comes from the distributor, from the battery, through the coil to 8 spark plugs, 3 on the tree. It don't go fast, but it goes. If I removed all the rust from the truck, it would fall into a pile of pieces.
I don't know. For you calling it an old truck, I was kind of wondering if there was a horse tethered to the front of it.
No, it's a 77. 305 V8, 3-speed on the column manual transmission.
Yeah,
So,
you want to talk about an anti-theft device. Put a 3 on the tree nowadays and see how many can drive that thing.
oh, it just blows their mind.
Yeah, column shift is a little rough.
Yeah. So I still have my 05 Camry, and it had 348,000 miles on it when it blew a head gasket. So I'm fixing to get me another motor to go in that. And the reason why is, I know if I put a new motor and transmission in this car, it's going to cost me more to do that than the car is worth. But when you turn around and look at what cars are costing nowadays, I'm not fixing it up to sell it. I'm fixing it up to drive it and to keep from having a bank note and them charging me 8 to 10% interest.
Yeah, it's worth it to keep it. That's for sure. If you're in that situation.
That's what I'm talking about, Ball. The EMP won't kill that car, that truck. But then again, how you gonna get gas out of the ground? These big old tanks. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Fluffy's out there talking about Tacoma being one of the few, and you're right. Tacoma's one of the few last ones left that still do a manual. And they're pretty pricey, man. I haven't looked at them new this year, but as of a couple years back, they were starting price was right around 36, 37.
Yeah, the last 18 speed I ran. Yeah, I was 750 horse, 18 eating behind it, and it would just shit and get, but it wasn't very efficient on fuel.
Okay, I hate to say this, but New York Outcast actually said something worthwhile putting up on screen. and he's actually right for once.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. That's a pretty correct statement right there.
But that's like 3 or 4 statements in one sentence. Well, 2 sentences divided by a period, but I mean,
Yeah, he's probably done for the next like 10 years at this point. But good job, man. No, you're right. 100% right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my dad's old truck. I don't know if y'all saw that video I did quite a while back on my dad's truck I inherited, but it's been in the shop. I put a reman motor in it, and it's been using coolant. It's got some parts and labor warranty for 4 years. So it's bounced around a couple shops. That's a bad thing about older vehicles. It's hard to find a shop that's willing to work on them. And I do the work myself, but unfortunately with my back issues, I can't hardly lift, and I can't lean over the hood of a car or over the fender like I used to. And then also some of the labor is covered. So I'm like, well, I'll just, get it to a shop to diagnose it. They finally, this last shop that I took it to, they finally were able to pinpoint, yeah, it's a head issue, which I told them it probably was. So now I'm trying to work with the reman company to see what they're going to do. The shop's going to push for another long block. I don't know what they're going to charge. I'll have to pay for it all up front and then get reimbursed or whatever. But I don't even know what that's going to cost to have that put in there. So, but I'll be happy to have that back. It's in 300 straight 6 with a 5-speed standard cab 2-wheel drive, and it's just a nice running old truck. And other than the coolant loss, coolant usage kind of sucks. But
oh yeah, man, you can't go wrong with straight 6.
Yep.
Straight.
So matter of fact, I wouldn't even replace the motor in that thing, but my brother had started working on it, and he left it open, and moisture got in it, and it rusted the cylinders and stuff. It actually ran still, but I was like, well, I went ahead and put a motor in it, and unfortunately I should have just rebuilt the motor that was in it, because it only had 252,000 on it, and it ran great. So it had some had all that. It's a 96, so it had all that emissions, EGR tubing and crap going all over the place, and it had a bunch of leaks, and some of that stuff you can't get anymore. So we're trying to get that figured out. And unfortunately, my brother, being the truck was where he was and not where I am, he'd work on it and then leave it sit for months. And so anyways, it just made sense to just put a motor in it. And I probably got about $9,000 in that truck, mostly parts, on a truck that's worth, I don't know, maybe it's $2,500, $3,000. I don't know, but it's my dad's truck, and it's just a nice old truck to drive around. And I was driving that thing back and forth to work 50 miles a day, most days of the week, until I, been bouncing around between shops trying to get it diagnosed so I can get that company to put another motor in it. But anyways.
I know, man. Fluffy's
now,
right.
half the time, Fluffy, they don't even know what the freaking computer's telling them. So it's ridiculous. And Val's out there. I'm not quite exactly sure what he ran a stupid Suzuki, but first off, your problem is you got a Suzuki, so that explains all your issues right there. You just don't know how to drive a stick, man. If you're having issues and not being able to get good gas mileage, you just don't know how to drive stick. That's all there is to that. All right, Jamie, let's give something else away, man. Do another number.
what's the next one coming up, Scotsman?
Next one will be this book. And
French military rifles.
Some French.
Oh, you mean rifles that have never been fired? Oh,
And I dropped one.
still sealed up the whole 9 yards, probably because you'll never read it because you won't know. You'll probably never see the rifle you're looking for.
All right, say when.
Go ahead.
And I'm digging the oddball camo colors.
Number 8.
All right, number 8. I'm gonna have to get with Val again because number 8 is another one of Val's donors, and that is Dennis B. So Dennis B. I will get with Val and we'll get that figured out.
Very cool.
Hey, y'all. My wife wanted to say hi. So her name's Anna. So she.
No, I wanted to photobomb your video.
Hey, Anna, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Good to see you.
So y'all in North Carolina, y'all not real far from me. I got to get up that way.
You're welcome anytime, Jamie. Yeah, North
Appreciate
Carolina's a pretty good state. I actually got roots in Georgia, though. So my mom's side of the family's from Jessup, Georgia.
Okay.
Makes the live look better. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep your eye out on Walter there.
Well, Walter, thank you for stopping by. Always good to see you out there.
All right, Alan. So have you had any more chance to get out and shoot the rifle with that different break on there and get any more results?
That was one of the things I haven't gotten the video down in the can yet. I did get some results, but not what I was really looking for. Going back and looking at some of the footage, I've got to reshoot some of it. And still, I don't. Eventually I will get this done. It just doesn't seem to be turning out anywhere near as smooth as I thought it was going to be. It's not anything somebody hasn't already done. And so I don't understand quite why everything's just fighting me on it. But yeah, I did get out and get some more footage put into the can, and some of the footage I just absolutely had to scrap. It was just entirely too windy. The audio was horrible. Yeah, it didn't work out. What I can say though is I do like the break on it. It functions well just as the break. And with the flash can, it does have you got to be real subtle to notice it, but it does have just a hair more push backwards than anything else. But that's about as much as I'm gonna go into details on my opinions of it so far. It worked out. It works well for some of the things that I've, running the brake as a brake. It works really well. So yeah, I need to redo a bunch of the footage. The audio was so bad that it's not even usable.
Yeah, it's always funny how when you turn the camera on, everything starts to go wrong. You got all this stuff pre-planned out, what you want to do, how you want to set it up, and everything else, and then bam, it all goes to shit.
Yeah, the audio was so bad this time that I'm seriously been contemplating acquiring a little bit other gear to work with. And I think that would help significantly. But do I really want to invest in that gear is kind of another story altogether.
So I had a experience recently, actually, speaking of video and audio and stuff like that. I had the main camera I was using actually turn off, but I had another camera running. But the nice thing is that my main camera, I had the Rode wireless lapel mics, and the cool thing about that is even if the camera goes off, it has memory on it, so it still recorded all my audio. All I had to do is grab the audio track off of the memory, and then I was able to splice it in with the other video that I was running at the time. So it was a little aggravating, but at least I didn't lose, a bunch of time filming. So it might not be a bad idea to look into something like that. I mean, not necessarily the Rode one. I think DJI has them also. But the Rode mics, wireless lapel mics are actually a little cheaper. Let me see. I probably got one sitting here. Yeah, these little fellers right here. So you can get the receiver with 2 of these. I just got one because I'm not doing interviews with folks or anything like that. But they work really good. The audio quality is really good. And like I said, that one time I had a problem with my main camera. It saved my progress, so I was able to make it work.
Yeah, and I've seen a ton of tubers out there with those particular Rode mics. And so that was kind of the line that I've been looking at, but I don't know if I want to sink into it. Only because my video content is for snot. It's just not there. With just general life and everything else, I just haven't had the time or the effort, nor have I wanted to give YouTube itself as the company any of my effort, because of everything that they've done against people that I care about. But yeah, those particular mics, I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at them just today. So
My youngest daughter actually got them for me for Christmas last year. So it was kind of, one of those things every year, my daughters ask, "Oh, what do you need?" And they know I do the YouTube thing. So I always throw out a couple of things here and there that, I might need this, might need that, so that was one of the things they kind of put together and got for me. So I technically didn't pay for them, but like I said, they've been, it's kind of one of those things that you don't know what you're missing until after you kind of have it. Like if I didn't have them now, I would be like, I need those mics. But man, they're really, even if I had to pay for them, they would have been well worth the money so far in my experience for all sorts of, I do a lot of videos, so I mean they're definitely been worthwhile for me.
well, and a lot of times if I'm going to go out to the range, I'm more worried about taking my range gear and first aid kits and everything that I would normally use to just go to the range with, and then to pack up the hardcore video gear. So what I end up doing is just running the phone. Maybe I'll bring a tripod because YouTubers and their tripods, and then I've got other lapel mics that just straight go into the phone. And this one actually was dirt bottom cheap. I can't even remember what it is. I think it was like an Amazon special, but it sounds great unless there's any kind of wind. I can't even putting a dead cat on it doesn't work. It doesn't help at all. And so if I tuck it into the shirt, it muffles the shit out of it and you can't hear it anyway.
I was gonna say I got one of those off Amazon. I forget what it was. They originally had it listed for like 35. I think end of the day, by the time I got it, it was like 25. Comes with 2 mics, and then you have this piece that just plugs into the phone. And the sound quality on it is pretty great, unless, like Alan says, you get outside and you got some wind noise going on. And then they turn the hell in the handbasket real fast. But otherwise, if you're inside,
yeah, and the range of the mic isn't too bad either. For everything that you're gonna do on, you know, any kind of cell phone camera, which ultimately cell phone cameras aren't all that bad. You know, unless you're like hardcore. Yeah, I can't tell you how much YouTube is filmed on cell phone cameras these days. Yet the range on that thing is really well. So it's definitely far enough to where you could set your tripod off quite a ways and still be like going through a challenge course or a competition course, and you wouldn't have an audio problem with that at all. But I didn't happen to take that out there that day. I was running this, and I was focused more on my actual decibel meter and measuring things out and getting that dialed in. And it's just a project that isn't taking too much of my time. It's like owning a 70 some odd C10. It's just a never ending project that seems to take too much of your time.
Yeah, I mean the YouTube stuff, I mean, yeah, it kind of, like I mentioned earlier, I went to shoot with a German fella Friday afternoon, and yeah, the amount of guns and ammo and then also all my tripods and all that fun stuff I took with me. I took a GoPro because I wore that thing around, and actually that turned out pretty slick because I was able to kind of watch him at different angles and get some different camera views. But yeah, it's definitely extra work, and sometimes makes it less fun. You know, when I'm going to the range and I got to haul all that extra crap with me, you know, it is kind of a you know, you kind of have to want to do it. You know. But, you know, kind of back to the microphone, I went from a wired lapel mic that was an Amazon, you know, it was a cheap Amazon one, and it does good. But you know, the wireless setup, and then having that memory capacity where it's always recording the audio in case I'm not videoing at the time, it actually has worked out pretty dang good. And as far as cameras, I got 3 phones. I'm not using, I mean, I got a digital SLR that does 4K video, but I rarely ever shoot with it because the phones do such a great job. They're lightweight, you know, the battery capacity is good. I guess I haven't gotten to that level where it's worthwhile to get a dedicated video camera for doing videos. The phones work so good. So.
I'm trying to graduate from my phone to a dedicated video camera. I got one picked out, but I know I'm gonna have to have microphones to go with it.
Yeah, honestly, as far as a video camera, I've looked around, but there's so many options without spending a crap ton of money. You know, I'm going to be looking for the sub $1,000 camera that'll do 4K video. And the ones I've seen, I think it's Sony and Canon have like vlogger type cameras. I think is what folks are using. If you guys come across something like that, as far as camera wise, you think it's good, or have suggestions, definitely let me know. It's something kind of on my radar. But like I said, I've been using the phones. I got 3 iPhones, and they take pretty good quality. I can't complain. Sometimes the color of the videos is a little off with the iPhones, but other than that, for the most part, they do pretty good.
Usually shooting landscape, yes, always.
Yeah.
Always. I
Always.
don't, unless I'm specifically shooting a short.
If you're holding your phone like this when you're taking a video, you get a little bitty square on the video when you upload it to YouTube. You gotta do it like that, landscape.
Yeah, and unless I'm specifically going to shoot a short, and those are for people that are just flipping through. Yeah, it's always in landscape. Trying to find a right camera, and yeah, it's difficult to find one that has a vlog style screen with an external mic inlet, because it's just a necessity. The audio on almost all of those cameras is horrid. And so unless you are recording separate audio and then syncing it with video, which is just a major pain in the ass, I don't like dealing with stuff like that in post. Scotsman doesn't even edit videos. He films specifically. It's like, okay, we're starting, and no matter what the fuck happens, this is what I'm posting. Because there is no editing involved.
Scotsman's a one-take wonder, man. He's got it down.
The most editing usually that'll ever happen is me hitting pause while I do something and hitting restart as I go. That's it. I try to keep everything under 5 minutes as much as possible, because people's attention spans are real low. So I always try to keep them 5 or under. Sometimes it goes over a little bit depending on what it is, but in general, 5 or under. And yeah, I generally don't do a whole lot of editing unless it's something where it's maybe just pictures and video, like doing a video for ad where it's, an old school type of ad video, something like that. And then I'll do some editing. But other than that, generally, no editing. Ain't got time for it. Don't know how to do half of it anyway. So,
well, and so one of my questions, Kristen, you brought up filming in 4K a lot, and I'm not going to say that I don't do it, but is it worth filming in 4K to upload it to YouTube?
I upload in 4K. All my videos are 4K.
So you must have good internet.
I have decent internet. I have decent enough to upload in 4K. Yes, that wasn't always the case, but I do have decent enough where I can upload. It takes some time. I have videos that they'll take an hour plus to upload. Depends on, just kind of depends on my neighbors, how much internet they're using and that sort of thing. But I normally just set them to upload and then I walk away anyway. So for me, it's not a big deal. And with the YouTubes, with their, manual review process and all that crap, uploading it, there's no rush anyways, because they always drag their feet with all that stuff. And most of the time I'm re-uploading videos, at least once or twice or 3 or 4 times if it's something really important that I want to, have monetized. But some videos I don't care if they, don't monetize it. I just run it that way anyways. But I do mine in 4K. Yep.
Yeah, there's some videos that I have that are specifically in 4K. Um, but a lot of the times YouTube, it's not it doesn't broadcast it in 4K unless you're specifically set up to receive it like that.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, the YouTube pushes it out to you, the viewer, based on what their bandwidth is. So if they have a crappy internet connection, it's gonna be pushed out in a lower quality. Matter of fact, a lot of times I can't even watch the videos in 4K here at the house. I mean, sometimes they'll run fine, other times not. Again, depends on how much internet my neighbors are using, I guess. So if it's high traffic times, I have less chance of getting a 4K video watching. But other times I can watch them fine. But I don't know. I started doing 4K videos. It's probably been a couple years now. I didn't always do them in 4K, but that's been the last couple years. I've just done them all in 4K. Try to do what other folks are doing as far as the video quality. Since I have the capability of doing it, and takes a little bit more time and whatnot, but the quality is a little better. So if you're on your phone, it doesn't matter. But
yeah. So when Kyle and I went over to Bubba's Barbecue and met Preacher's Day Off, he recorded that video that he did a review on the barbecue place and with me and Kyle in it and all that. And he recorded the whole video on a camera. I mean, almost the size of a credit card. And it was a Canon. And the thing fit in his shirt pocket. And he pulled it out and he turned it on and the lens started coming out. And then the lens kept going out when he zoomed. I mean, the lens went out as far as the camera was wide. I mean, it stuck out that far because it's telescopic, in little sections. And it zoomed to like 100x. I'm not kidding, man. I mean, we could see what was going on the next hill over there, and that dang little camera is like $200. And Allen, you don't have to have a output for a corded microphone now. It's all done Bluetooth, so it Bluetooth connects the mic to the camera, and that's what he did. He had this little lapel microphone on his shirt, and it does great, man. And I'm probably gonna get me one of those. And it's like when he told me he paid $200 for it. I got home and I looked it up and it's 300. So
I need to know what camera that is.
It's seems like it's APX 200, something like that. It's a Canon.
Okay.
It's a little bitty camera, man. But yeah, if you can find a tripod that'll hold it, you'll love that camera.
All right. Pull up my internet now.
Yeah, years ago I bought, I think it was a Canon, maybe. I forget which one it is, but I started doing videos on that for a little bit, and it was more of a pain in the rear to try and upload them from that than from the phone. So it's always been pretty much on the phone.
Yeah, so what happens when you start with the phone? Then you got to have editing software.
No, you just do one and done and upload it. Say, fuck it.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, my phone internet's faster than my home internet anyway. So well, it depends upon who's he talking about. Because if he's talking about the flags up behind Jamie, I don't know. Are you a cheesehead or?
Oh, glory. Well, what you can't see is I got a 2A flag too. There's the stars and bars.
Yeah, I gotta say I'm pretty jealous of y'all set up behind your chairs there. I got the wife's office desk behind me there, and I got my Brownells BOP flag hanging up. That's about all I got in here in this particular room. But I need to get some more stuff hung up in there.
Oh, none of this stuff is actually here. This is a green screen.
Bull butter.
That's what I need is a green screen, because that way y'all can't see all this clutter and garbage I got behind me. Bookshelf shit stuff hanging off of it, and I got USPS packages over here. I got my wife's. I don't know what the heck she got going on over there. She got keychains and stuff hanging up on that board. That's her master's degree deal. Old printer I got from a hospital about 15 years ago. It still works. It's a laser jet. It's a black printer, but man, I've been running the heck out of the thing over the years. So, but yeah, not nothing exciting behind me. Y'all got the setup behind you for sure.
Well, I'm lucky enough, Rob. This is used to be Mr. Holster's flag, so I'm lucky enough to have this behind me. So it's very cool. Jamie, let's do one more, man. Spin that wheel. We got one more mug to give away, so see who we got.
You ready?
Round and round she goes. If nobody knows, she's a hoe.
Number 22.
All right, number 22, just so everyone can see this, and I'm not lying to you, is Daniel. So, Mr. Daniel, God is my judge. I will get that mug to you as well, man. Very cool.
I didn't know we had a Danielle that watched the show. That's good. That's good.
Of course, he doesn't show up here, but typical.
So we through?
That's it. Yes, sir. That's all I got. So again, thank you to Milsert Mike for donating the books, and thank you to GGW for hooking up with the mugs. Very cool, man. Very cool. So Val's still out there. Val, I'll get with you, man, because I got two people. I got to figure out who's who with you. So I'll get with you later on and figure that out. It'll be later on this week before I can ship them anyway. So. Oh, there's a good comment for you. Yeah, Rob, it's always fun picking on Daniel, man. Always fun.
It's funner when he's around.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell, man. I texted him, he didn't even respond to me either. Typical.
Man, some people's kids.
Just can't do anything with him anymore. And then you get people like New York Outcast, But yeah, Rob, this is This is the setup for Mr. Holster. This is the bar, as we call it. And I had this specially made. And then these are all Mr. Holster's hats and various other things that I put together to honor the man himself. And we have the other channel, which I haven't done anything on for a little bit, and I apologize for that, but I've had some things going on. We have the Pop Goes the Weasel channel where we honor Mr. Holster over there. So we'll try and get something up over there here pretty soon. It's just been a minute. Like I said, I've had some things going on that I'm not divulging out to the public. I keep some things to myself. So, but we are kind of getting back in the swing of things. So I'll get some stuff coming out here pretty soon.
So Scotsman, it's doesn't deer season, rifle season open up is it tomorrow? In Ohio?
Nope. It's actually I think it started today.
Okay.
It's either today or tomorrow. But unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to get out this year with everything that happened. Currently, the best that I can do at the moment as far as spending time in the truck is about an hour and a half, and Daniel's like 2 hours away. And then to sit out in the woods for a couple hours past that, and then so on and so forth. I don't think it's going to happen right now.
Hemorrhoid flare up again, huh?
Boy.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah, even sitting here just for a couple hours sometimes can be a pain. So,
Oh, they got them blow up donuts, man.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. It's supposed to start snowing here pretty soon this week anyway. So, something changes and I feel a little better, then try and get out there. But as of right now, maybe beginning of the year, there's still time beginning of next year as well. So we'll see.
Yeah, they still. I think they used to do because I lived up in Ohio for 11 years. They used to do like a late muzzleloader that was like right after New Year's or something like that, the first week.
Yeah, it's beginning of January. Yep.
But it's darn cold.
Oh yeah, it's cold. I've done it a couple times. It's darn cold, but that maybe what it comes down to. If I can do it, we'll see. So
yeah,
as where we're at right now, I just don't think it's possible at this point. But we'll see here in a month or two. Maybe we'll be in better shape.
Yeah, Jamie, you got deer season open down in Georgia?
Oh yeah. Archery deer starts mid-September. Rifle season starts mid-October, and both go until almost halfway to like the 10th of January.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know your rifle season started so early.
Yeah, we're allowed to take 2 bucks and 10 does.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in the northern part of Florida, just south of the Georgia line, and our rifle season would normally start like the second weekend in November and go till like the end of January. But it was buck only, except for a couple of doe weekends we might have sprinkled in there. But other than that, it's a pretty hard hunting. For the most part, where I grew up at anyways, as far as what you can take, because you see doe all the time, but you can't take them. But here in North Carolina, our rifle season started in my area 2 weeks ago. But the public land I hunt on only allows doe for the first 2 weeks. And then it turns into buck only. So if I want to go hunt there from now until I think January 1st, it's buck only. And there's on public land, if it's got horns, it's either hunkered down or it's already in somebody's freezer pretty much by now. So, I went out Friday morning. I was hoping to get a doe, but I think that, that area I hunt at probably already had a lot of hunters through it. There was quite a few of them when I was there Friday morning, so I didn't have a whole lot of faith in that. So,
now, do you have any private land you can hunt on as well?
Not in North Carolina. So, like I said, last 2 years I went to Kentucky to deer hunt up there for a week, and it's private land. It's like 160 acres, and it's surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of private land that other people are pretty cognizant about, cultivating the deer population. So there's so many deer there. I mean, every time I walked in the woods, heck, one night I was trying to get out the stand. I was worried I was going to get run over by the deer. There were so many of them. But I enjoy being out there and watching the animals. I mean, I took a buck the first morning out, biggest buck I've ever shot. I kind of felt cheated because, normally I have to sit in the woods a little longer to get anything, and then I didn't take a doe until middle of the week because I was just having such a good time watching the other deer and stuff. And it was during rut, so the bucks were chasing the doe around and all that fun stuff. But unfortunately, when I got back and I processed all my meat, my last run of grind meat, I went to clean out my grinder and out popped the remnants of a 44 Magnum slug. So scraps of lead went through all that last round of ground meat, about 20 something pounds of it. Luckily, I work on x-ray equipment, so I took it all, loaded up, took it to work, and I x-rayed all of it to find the lead. So I was able to salvage some of it, but a good chunk of that got thrown away. So that's why I was back out in the woods trying to take another doe. I try to take 2 deer a season. That's enough meat for me and the wife, and to last throughout the year. But unfortunately, I lost some meat this year. So, but lesson learned on that. But I enjoy being out in the woods. I'll probably try to go out to public land a few more times here and there throughout the rest of the year. But it's just to enjoy it pretty much. The chances, if I get something, that's bonus. But otherwise, I'll just be out there enjoying the outdoors a little bit. So
That's what it's all about.
yeah, for sure. When I was a kid, I was all anxious and stuff, but I don't know. For me, it's just good to get away, and where I hunt public land, the cell phone hardly works. I ain't got to worry about that stuff. And I think it's like 2,700 acres of public land where I hunt, so it's a good chunk of land. But again, fighting other hunters and stuff too. So, but my goal normally is to get. I think about the other hunters. I'm like, well, where are they not going to go? And it's normally the deepest, thickest part of the woods that I can get, and that's typically where the other hunters ain't going. Because they shoot something down there, it's going to kill them trying to pull it out. So, but it's good times for sure.
That's where you get them, and when it gets later in the season after the rut,
Yeah,
they're fewer and farther between, but the ones you see are almost always those big monster bucks.
Yeah. The public land. I mean, I shot a 7-point there season before last because I didn't hunt there last year because I spent most of my energy in Kentucky. But there's those thick, deep areas. There's a lot of deer in there, but man, it's a lot of times you end up bumping them trying to walk into those areas. So that's all. You got to kind of get there early and hunker down and, wait for them to come passing through or get up from bedding or whatever. But like I said, it's nice. It's a nice spot of land, but they got a lot of, like I said, thick areas, young pine trees with a bunch of brush and briars and stuff all grown up. And it's, the deer like it there because they're protected. People can't get to them that easy.
Yeah, and one thing you got to be careful of, especially on public land and getting hunkered in into those areas, is it's public land, and there's a lot of people out there. There's nothing worse than sitting in a tree stand or sitting out in a blind and hearing bullets whizzing by you.
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing I would say for this area is that there's some high spots and low spots, and the thick areas are in the low spots. So, the chances of getting injured and I ground hunt there. You can use a climber, but you can't leave nothing behind, even though people do it. People will put a stand up and they'll, chain it to a tree. You're not supposed to do that, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the people actually, so it's power company land, so they got big power line clearings and stuff. Most people sit on the power line clearings, just because it's easier, but the thicker areas, a lot of people don't go down there. There's some nice creek banks and stuff that I'll sit on that are, like I said, just far away from everybody else. I mean, it sucks. I pulled a doe out of an area like that a couple years back, and that was kind of a pain. But it's nice if you get some help. But if you can't get help, you're down to field dressing and even maybe quartering the deer out and taking it out in pieces. I didn't have to do that. Luckily, I was able to get some help on that.
All right, good deal. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna start going through the room. Jamie, what you got, man?
I'm just finishing up 308. I got 2 or 3 more videos to do, getting to the range hopefully next Saturday and film some of that, and that'll be finished. And other than that, Georgia Shooting Connection, Friday nights at 8 o'clock. Hope to see you all there. Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, and appreciate you helping out with the giveaways, man. That was awesome. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Christian, what you got, man? Appreciate you being here. It's good seeing you.
I think his audio went south. Got nothing from you. I can tell you're unplugged, yep, now he's back into mute. He's having to do that power reciprocation process.
Yeah. Is that better?
There you go.
Okay. All I did was unplug my mic, plug it back in. I don't know. My computer's giving me fits between my camera and my other stuff. Yeah. So the only thing I really got going on is that Ruger S-FAR that I've been messing around with, that 308 lightweight Ruger rifle. I got to get some more ammo for it. I probably need to crank up the reloader with some 308. Unfortunately, I'm running a little low on large rifle primers for auto loaders. So I may have to try to find me some more of those. But yeah. Other than that, just a couple other small videos. But that's my big thing, is that Ruger S-FAR. You just look forward to a few videos coming out on that, and then also that Arkin LPVO, that 1:8 LPVO that just came out. That, like I said, first impressions, I'm super happy with it. So looking forward to putting it through its paces and seeing how it holds up stuff. But thanks, Scotsman, for having me on tonight. Sorry about the little bobble when we first started. But like I said, rookie mistake there. But
that's
yeah,
all right, man. We appreciate you being here. It's been a while since we had you on. It's always good to have you when we can. So much appreciated, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Anytime.
A little bit slower of a chat, but that's all right. It happens sometimes, but that's okay. We had a lot of people out there in the side chat, good interaction. So appreciate everyone out there. Allen, take us out right, brother.
Oh man, great chat. Great to have Kristen on the chat tonight. Good to see Rob Painless, Fluffy, so many people out in the side chat. It was a good side chat. I don't have, like I said, I've been working on this one video forever and a day, so I don't have that coming up, but there is another channel out there of mine that I started. If you want to look for it, it's called As the Dog Turns. And what it is 24/7 live feed, top down action of a hot dog on a roller. So if you're into that 24/7 live action hot dog rolling as the dog turns here on YouTube. Other than that, keep them magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!